This week, some new features, some new tweaks. I'm getting to that point with my album, like when you're working with a really nice director and you've kind of should have sent him the first kind of initial ideas like 2 weeks ago, and he kind of politely goes, anything to listen to yet? And you're lying in bed with the duvet over your head, seeing that he's just texted you. A lot of you are going, how's it coming along? And it's not coming along very well at all. But the positive to come out of this is a lot of introspection and thought about what it's going to be. And I think that me abandoning the box is like, I don't know, being fluent in Japanese and saying you're going to write a multilingual book that doesn't use Japanese. So what I've done is I've embraced this fantastic new beast by our friends at Expert Sleepers, the ES9.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only solution you require to couple your modular rig with your computer. A 16-in, 16-out USB interface with DC-coupled inputs and outputs that can handle both audio and CV. Plug it into your computer and it just works. Okay, let's get some tracks up here. We're going to need these later.
And the other thing that has been good about this delay to the album is thinking about what the content is going to be, what the style is going to be. And I think had I started this last autumn, I think it would have been a softer, more gentler affair. Now I'm again going to play to my strengths, and really one of my successes in my career has been as a drum programmer. So I asked the question, can you actually make drums on a modular that don't sound, well, a bit
This is the answer to what did you do for Black Friday last year, Christian? I did this. I bought lots of drum thingies from Erica Synths. Ever since watching The China Syndrome back in the 1970s, I've wanted a legitimate reason to be able to press buttons like this. So we've got MIDI in, click in, we've got reset, click out, CV out, gate. It has 2 LFOs, and then you've got 16 triggers along here, the first 12 of which also have accent triggers out as well. This left knob is the selector knob, and this right is the modifier. Let's go into pattern mode, of which you have 16 per bank. These can be triggered live or sequenced together. You also have 16 banks from A to H. The length of each pattern can be up to 64 steps, which can be scaled up to 1/32. I've got this sequence running in 16ths, and because there are only 16 pads, or rather switches, you can use the bar selector to scroll through to the different steps. The transport bar is not entirely self-explanatory. The stop button is also a pause button. The play button plays from the beginning of the sequence. If you stop with the stop button and then resume with it as a pause button, it'll play from where you left off. And then from the start of the sequence. The record button isn't a record button, it's a save button. You need to do this every time you exit from one pattern to another. I think this is designed to go at the bottom of your rack, and you'll see why soon. Let's connect the bass drum.
So we'll return momentarily to listen to each of the Erica modules in action and to see if I can put them together to create anything that's kind of usable. But first, something new. Where I work, we use Slack. It's kind of like instant messenger, but for grown-ups. We have various different channels, marketing, production, including naughty channels like Extra Bleep Bloop. This is where we egg each other on to buy expensive kit that doesn't do very much and threaten our marriages. So I thought it would be generous of me
to share some of the highlights of this channel with you to destabilise your marriages. First up, if you're a bit despondent about my drum review today, maybe you can try the Portland percussion synthesizer in kit form, a semi-modular drum synthesizer with a 32-point patch bay. Dino has discovered, and you'll spot a pattern here, that Future Sound Systems have released a DIY version of their Brunswick and have a DIY workshop online. There's a fantastic review of the all-new rack version of the Apple Mac Pro by a fellow composer, and if you're wanting your children to have less screen time, here's a fantastic excuse: Audio Layer. The Audio Layer sampling app for iPad looks like it's worth checking out. I know I will, with my son's iPad.
No, Dad, give it back!
And my favourite find of the week, Dino has uncovered oversynth.com, your favourite synths with fantastic new colourful and beautifully designed overlays. I'm going to buy some and see if I can devalue my synths even faster than they already are. Everything mentioned in today's divorceware, linked below. Erica Synth's bass drum is developed in collaboration with the French company Electronic, and it's their take on an analog bass drum circuit adapted for modular systems. The thing I'm really looking forward to trying with these modular drums is how CV can create a more nuanced, varied and expressive electronic drum beat. Okay, let's try triggering some accents, and there's an accent trigger mode there. And you'll see there's different levels of luminosity with these buttons. Accented, not. There's also a shuffle. And I'm going to select more of a swagger than a shuffle. Next up, snare. And this is also developed with that French company, so it's an analog snare. More of a biscuit tin full of sand than a snare. Okay, you'll see that I've got that on a unaccented, but I don't have the accent cable connected yet. More sand. Oh, the universal finger sign of EDMers from privileged backgrounds the world over. Finally, hi-hats, and I believe these are actually digital hi-hats, which I'm slightly dreading. You can trigger two forms of hi-hat, open and closed, and both signals are normaled to the OH out. Unaccented. I'm actually loving the way this sounds, and can imagine this can be incredibly expressive once applying some CV. Okay, open hi-hat. And if I switch this to the right, okay, let's try some pattern management. Basically, I'm copying from one to another, and then I'm just going through and creating 4 patterns. Okay, so back in pattern mode, hold down, select, and these will all link together. Whatever's blinking is next. 4. 1.
I know, the jury's out. Still sounding a bit whack, as they used to say in the 1990s. But this is why I've called this episode Part 1. Part 2 following soon, so please subscribe and ding that bell if you want to be notified the next time I put a video up. One of those for divorcees. See you next time.